Then I saw the blood dripping to the floor. And I knew then that something, he was stabbing me in my neck and the back of my head. This was a Monday, and generally I was off on Monday. That was my day off. But my aunt had to do something that day, so I took her place. This Monday, it was probably about 1:30 when they came in. I recognized the one, but I didn't recognize the other one. I had never seen him before. The store started getting busy then, so I didn't actually have time to talk to them a lot, but they shopped around in the store for about 45 minutes along with the other customers. I was ringing up his smaller items, and he was going to purchase this boom box, and so we always kept our bags up underneath the counter, our large bags for larger items. When I bent down under the counter to get this big bag, I couldn't come back up. And I realized that something was holding my head down, and I remember saying, "Stop it," because I realized at that point he was moving around to where I was at on my side of the register, and then I saw the blood dripping to the floor. And I knew then that something, he was stabbing me in my neck and the back of my head. And I raised my arm up to him to try to get my balance to get up. And when I reached my hand up to do, I guess he thought I was going to hit him or punch him, and he just took the knife and he sliced through my wrist. He told me to give him the videotape. He thought that he was on videotape. And I told him that it didn't work. It was down, and he didn't believe me, and then he threatened to kill me. I remember thinking, now this man doesn't have a mask on, no gloves on, and he wants this videotape, so he intends to kill me. He made me give him the money out of the cash register, and then he made me go to the front door, walk to the front door, and lock the front door so that nobody could come in. All this time I'm wondering, where is John? I remember rounding the corner with the knife to my back, and I saw John laying on the floor. And I knew then that I didn't know if John was dead. I went on upstairs to the office, and I got the office door open. And I couldn't get the safe open. I explained to him, after he had already messed with the tumbler, that I couldn't get it open with just my key. So I said, "I've got the combination wrote down, I'll just have to get it." So I turned around to get the combination to the safe. And all this time, the blood's just shooting out of my wrist. So I'm trying to hold to my wrist with my other hand and trying to get the safe open, and I never could get it open. It made him mad when I couldn't get that safe open, so he hit me with his backhand, and he reminded me that if I didn't get the safe open, that he was going to kill me right there. I told him that we hid money downstairs in the stock room, which we didn't. It was just my strategy to try to get to that back door. The one guy that was holding the knife handed it to him and told him to take me down there. And so he drugged me down to the stock room, and the whole time I'm thinking, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to run for that back door. And if I can ever get that back door open and get outside where people can see me, then he won't bother me. I'll be free. I'll be safe. As soon as I got to the doorway that led into the stock room, I broke from him and ran for that stock room door. Well, he was right behind me, so I got to the door, but before I could get the handle pushed and get to the outside, he grabbed a hold of my hair and pulled me back. He sort of like jumped, he was on me, and I remember he dropped the knife. And when he dropped the knife, I reached for it, and I did get the knife. The week before, my dad's brother had gotten in an accident and got killed, and the only thing that was going through my mind is that my dad was at the funeral home last week, and he's going to be at the funeral home again next week. That's what was in my mind, and I couldn't let that happen. We were scrambling around, both of us on the floor together, and I reached for the knife, and I got the knife, and I actually stabbed at him one time and cut his hand. It just made him furious. He was so mad. I mean, he was in a rage, and I was scared. I had thought I had run out of options, and that's when he pulled my head back, and I knew what he was fixing to do. I saw him bring the knife up to my throat, and with my other hand, I just grabbed onto the end of the knife and held to it the whole time. He cut my throat, and he hollered for the other guy to bring the hammer and bash my head in and finish me off. Still going through my mind was, what am I going to do next? I've got to do something next. I've got to come up with another plan. And that's when I told him, I said, if you'll let me up, I'll try to go back upstairs and I'll get the safe open this time. He helped me up. I got up and I got as far as to the bottom of the steps to where the office was, and I dropped, and I just laid there and played dead. And I heard the other guy from around the front of the store holler at him and say, let's get out of here. I guess at that time they had gotten nervous about being in there so long, and as soon as he left, I heard the front door close, and I knew they were gone. At that point, I couldn't believe I was able to get up. I couldn't believe I was still alive. I was kind of in shock. But I knew that I had to get help because I knew I was bleeding so bad. I was drenched in blood. I've got a friend that works next door, about 150 feet away. I said if I can just get over there, he can get me some help. When I got outside free, I just ran as fast as I could run. I remember going to his door and opening his door and walking in and telling him that I had been stabbed, I had been robbed, and that John was next door and we needed help. There happened to be an off-duty paramedic that had came to the store to shop that day, and she saw the two guys when they came out of the store, and she told me later that she thought they were painters because they were covered in red, and she said she thought that was paint. But when she saw me run next door, she knew then what had happened, and she came right behind me. She asked the store owner for some towels and a first aid kit, and she kept talking to me. She put pillows under my feet, and I remember asking her, at least I remember twice, was I gonna die? And she would tell me, no, not as long as I'm here. It's made me look at life a lot different. It's made me appreciate every day that I have. It's also made me learn to live every day like it could be my last day, and to always be ready to go no matter where I'm at. I didn't have to think about forgiving them. It just, to me, it came natural. I was just so thankful to be alive that I didn't have room in my heart for hate. I didn't have any room for anything but thankfulness and happiness to be alive. I just didn't want to die. I wanted to live. I think everybody does. And when it comes down to it, you do everything that you can to survive.